Welcome everybody, and thank you for your interest in IllumiForge and offering to test the software. So IllumiForge is software used for preparing images to engrave with a laser. Uh, that's what it's specifically designed for. So lasers don't handle grayscale very well. They will adjust their power to try and get you a specific tone, and you can run material tests and try and dial in all of those settings to run good grayscale images, but they work much better with dithered images. Basically, dithering takes an image and breaks it up into blocks of little tiny dots of black and white. And the laser handles that much better and helps you preserve detail and looks very good, especially depending on the material that you're engraving. Wood and slate do particularly well with dithered images. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So this is my installer here. I just put it on the desktop so I can show you. Let's show you how to install. So you just run your installer, accept the license agreement. It just says this is alpha software. It might break. Uh, choose where you want to install it and whether you want start menu and desktop shortcut, all of those things. I'll put it on the desktop so it's easy to see. So we go ahead and install. Should be pretty quick. And go ahead and run it. So here we are in IllumiForge. Feel free to read the notes and messages at the beginning. Go ahead and start. So we'll full screen this so you can see better. Before we go over all of our parameters here, we're just going to go ahead and load an image. So we have it ready. So on the left, you can see we have just our original image here. Then over here on the right, we have our dithered image. It by default loads the Floyd-Steinberg algorithm. And if you zoom in really close, you can see that this image is made up of tiny spots of black and white, which the laser can handle very well, particularly if you have a fairly high DPI laser. So what are these options over here? I'm not going into details over how the dithering algorithms all work. And for now, I would avoid Atkinson. I have not optimized it yet. It must have gotten missed in my list. All the rest of these are optimized and all operate very quickly. Atkinson is still very, very slow. So I would avoid that for the moment, but you can see through the others. If we zoom in, you can change the different dithering algorithms and see the different patterns they give you. They work better given on different materials and different images. You just have to play around and find some that you like. I really like the Floyd-Steinberg. It's pretty much the original algorithm and it does really well. I also really like the Stucky. It gives really, really good results on the laser. If we go down to image algorithm parameters, almost all of these work on error diffusion, and you can change that diffusion as to how it cuts off. It basically works like a kind of like a threshold slider would. All of these except for halftone threshold and grayscale use the error diffusion. You get other options if you try the other algorithms. So here is a halftone, so you can change the cell size and the shape of the halftone projections as well as the angle. I find somewhere in the middle, not all the way at 45, can get rid of visual artifacting of that overall algorithm pattern in the background. And then threshold is basically just a solid black and white dither to get that really stark high contrast effect. Again, you can adjust your brightness, your contrast, and your sharpness of the pixelization. And so let's say I think that looks pretty good. Let's see what our size is. So you can view size in pixel, inch, or metric, imperial or metric. So the upscaling also works fairly well. Let's say we wanted to make this a 10-inch image and almost double the scale. We should get a lot of pixelation, or pixelization, but we don't. It upscales nice and smoothly, and the dithering still looks really, really good. Pretty happy about that. Oh, there we go. I didn't apply it, but there we go. So still nice and clean, nice clean dither. This looks great. If you needed to crop your image, you can do it manually just using the, or you can do it with the enable crop. This is just going to take an average from each side. I don't really like that, so I added this visual crop tool where you can uh, go grab it and you'll see that your measurements update down here, and then you can just apply it and it will uh, crop your image for you. You can also transform if you need to rotate or mirror any of those. Those options are here. And then we get down to the output settings. I feel like I should put a little chart in here that shows what focal point equals which DPI. My focal point is 0.06 millimeter, which I already know is 423 DPI. So we'll set our DPI and then go ahead and save our processed image. I'm just going to throw that on the desktop and we'll call it demo test. And we're good there. So we'll exit out of here. Let's go ahead and open Lightburn and see how this gets ready. It's actually really easy once you have this. You can either go to File, Import, or you can just drag and drop. So you'll see here we have the measurements that we put in, but we'll notice, hey, even if we converted these to imperial, they are different. So let's go look at one thing real quick before we look at this image in Lightburn in IllumiForge. And if we go down here to DPI, you can see that we have a measurement of 7.14, so 181 millimeters by 254 millimeters. So if we change this to 423 DPI like we did before, you'll notice that our measurements change. It's adjusting it for the DPI of the image, so you'll have to go resize that. If you still wanted this to be 6 inches wide, then you have to go resize after changing the DPI. That's a critical step there. Well, we don't care about that. So right now we're zooming in and you can see there's lots of artifacting and stuff, and that's just how Lightburn processes things. It also likes to try and dither on its own. So before burning this image, you need to go into your cut settings and go down here to this pass-through option and turn on pass-through. You can see that here you can set your DPI and image mode and all of that, and then Lightburn is going to try and process it with its own processor. You don't want to do that. You just want to use the image as it is, as it came out of the IllumiForge. So you just turn that to pass through. Set your power and speed. I can help you with some of those settings if you're having trouble depending on your laser. And then you just hit go. And that's it. You get really, really good results if you set up the dither nicely. And I hope this works for you, and let me know what you think. Thank you.